Alright, so we have a bit of breaking news regarding the future of the heavyweight division in boxing. The WBO has officially ordered a title fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Joseph Parker, and I love this news for the latter. After being scheduled to fight Daniel Dubois and then going ahead and beating a late notice replacement in Martin Bakole, Joseph Parker deserves this opportunity more than anybody. I know that the Usyk vs Dubois fight might have been originally in the works, but I feel like when Dubois couldn't show up to defend the IBF title he already had, he shouldn't be up next for an undisputed fight. That would have been so unfair on Parker, who's been an absolute stud his entire career and has gone through a bit of a resurgence himself, beating the likes of Wilder, Zhang, and most recently Bakole. That Parker vs Dubois fight falling through wasn't down to Parker, and he actually rose to the occasion and fought a seemingly, at the time, dangerous Bakole on 2 days' notice. Parker is a gun, and I'm glad that the WBO actually have done something productive for once by ordering this Usyk-Parker fight to happen. On top of Parker deserving this title shot, we've already seen how an Usyk vs Dubois fight would go, and even though this is heavyweight boxing and anything can happen, I believe Usyk would have comfortably beaten Dubois again if a rematch came along. The only reason why fans have any reason to doubt Usyk is because of that illegal punch controversy, which to this day I believe it was a legitimate low blow and people really made a mountain out of a molehill. We've also seen in his subsequent fights with Fury that Usyk can certainly take hard punches to the body and keep moving forward. I don't see any point in an Usyk vs Daniel Dubois match other than it gives Usyk the opportunity to become two-time undisputed champ at heavyweight. Anyway, as for this mandatory Joseph Parker fight, I can see Parker giving Usyk a good fight, but even at 38 years old, I believe Usyk will be too much to handle. Stylistically, Parker is a solid all-around boxer. He has good technique, great feet and movement for a heavyweight, and decent overall power. Parker has knocked people out for sure, but power isn't the main weapon he relies on. As of late, I believe his primary attribute that makes him stand out from the other heavyweights is his defensive skills. In the Wilder fight especially, he was super defensively responsible, and that was the most conservative and measured I've seen Parker to date. I know Wilder didn't throw a whole lot and Parker could pick him apart in the later rounds, but at least up until that fight, Wilder's power was still feared and he only lost to Fury. Parker played a safe fight and picked his spots when he could perfectly. Parker uses his feet quite well to get out of dangerous spots, and of course off the ropes where other heavyweights like to pin him. Joseph Parker is a great boxer, seems genuinely lovely, and I'm rooting for him as someone from New Zealand. I'm Australian, but we're practically neighbours. However, as I said, Usyk will be too much for him. I know fans love to praise Usyk and rate his skills super highly, I do too, and it's like, how can you not? His resume is fucking insane, and the level that his engine runs at in fights is nothing short of brilliant. I believe Parker vs Usyk will play out a lot like Usyk vs Tony Bellew. Joseph Parker will look great in spots and may even outbox Usyk early on, but that gas tank will suddenly dissipate. All due to Usyk's movement and work rate, mind you, and the latter will take over from there. Regardless of the outcome, I am excited to see new matchups in the division and new types of heavyweight boxers for Usyk to face during his championship reign. I understand that AJ and Fury are big names and that Usyk rematching both of them makes a whole lot of financial sense, but does Usyk have to beat everyone twice in order to really beat them? Anyway, I digress. Usyk vs Parker looks to be on, and I'm super pumped for it, since it's going to be one of the last times we're going to see Usyk fight live. I mean, the dude has said time and time again that when he reaches 40 years old, he's gonna retire, so we might have the pleasure of watching 2 more, maybe 3 more fights of his. Even though I like Joseph Parker and he's a great dark horse, I hope Usyk does the business and retires as an undefeated 2-time undisputed heavyweight champion. But I guess we'll have to wait and see, and I'll catch you down the road.